Looking for a fun, open string lead riff to dazzle your friends with? I hope you enjoyed last week's alternate picking video because you're going to need it for the song I'm going to show you in today's lesson. The song is Stygia by Two Feathers, which is featured in the video game Metal Hellsinger. It was brought to my attention by a viewer, so I checked it out and thought it'd be a great song to teach. It uses alternate picking, the E minor scale, harmonies, plus it just sounds super cool. To make sure you get this to sound amazing for yourself, make sure you grab my Elite Tones cheat sheet that I've linked in the description. It's completely free and it'll give you my best tips on how to dial in killer amp tones. It even shows you my secret hacks on how to make digital amp simulators sound like real physical amplifiers. So pause the video, grab that resource by clicking the link in the description or by going to zachsharguitar.com, then come back and I'll show you how to play this gnarly tune. So real quick, I'm going to run you guys through this setup here that I've got going on. It's pretty simple, but I'm going to show it to you in case you want to replicate it for yourself. So I'm using Reaper for my DAW, and I'm using the Amped Roots amp sim. I'm using the free version of it, but that cheat sheet I mentioned before has a list of some of my favorite free amp sims, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. I have this defaulted to the Guitar Hero lead setting, and I'll be using the same setting for the other guitar part that I'll show you at the end of this video. So I leave that all as is, and same with the cabinet simulator that's sort of built into this same plugin. It's a pretty simple setup, but you can do it however you want to do it. But now I get to show you how to play this awesome tune. As you can see, I've got a tab of this song on the screen to help supplement in teaching this lesson. But in case you don't know, each of the horizontal lines on that tab represent your guitar strings, and the numbers represent the frets that you play. This song mostly has a 16th note feel to it, and so that's what makes alternate picking pretty important in being able to pull this off smoothly. And due to those 16th notes, we can break each 16th note grouping, which are 4 notes, into a 1E and a 2E and a pattern. So let's try that real quick on the open E string, starting with a down pick and then alternate picking down, up, down, up, down, up. So 1E and a 2E and a. But the flow of the lead in this riff is more like 1E and a 2E, a 3E and a 4E. And if it helps you alternate pick this more accurately, you can try thinking of it as down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if it helps with the rhythm, you can try thinking of tapping with your right hand as down picking and your left hand as up picking. So it'll be like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1E and a 2E, a 3E and a 4E. So now we're going to incorporate the actual lead riff over the rhythm we've established. So to start that, you're going to play the open E string followed by frets 5 and 8. And then you're going to return to the open E string. So that'll be the first grouping of 16th notes. Next, you're going to play frets 5 and 7 of that high E string. And when you play the 7th fret, you're going to let that 7th fret note hang out until you reach the of 2. So 1E and a 2E, And when you hit that of 2, you're going to just play the 7th fret one more time. So that sequence is repeated 2 more times, and so here is what we have so far. Now you're going to repeat that same exact sequence one more time, but it ends a little bit differently. So it'll be open E, fret 5, fret 8, open E, fret 5, fret 7. So when you land on fret 7 here at this point, you're not going to let it hang out for a little bit, okay? You're going to want to play that note not exactly with the fingertip like you're probably used to if you've got some solid technique so far, but you're almost going to want to bar that note more so with the pad of the finger, so that way you can come right up to the 7th fret of the B string right above it. And then you can end that sequence on fret 8. So here's what that final piece sounds like. And I just want to speak to the theory nerds out there real quick. I just want to point out how interesting this arrangement is, because we're playing an F sharp note here, but it's over a progression that uses F. And it's interesting to me because when looking at the melody by itself, it looks a lot like the E minor scale, which is in the key of E minor. But if we're dealing with this F note here, it could almost imply that the F sharp is an accidental, and that the progression can either be in the key of D minor or A minor if we're dealing with something that's more Phrygian or Locrian sounding. Just a little food for thought. So here's the bonus. If you've got a guitar playing friend, or if you want to record in your DAW with yourself and just record 2 different guitar tracks at the same time, you too can play both parts. But if you can, I encourage you to share this lesson with a guitar playing friend, so that way you guys can experience what it is really like to harmonize by playing each part at the same time. If you've never experienced that before, you definitely need to try it. It's next level sensational. So this is a parallel harmony, which is great because we don't really need to alter our sense of rhythm or anything like that, or the directionality of our notes. We're just playing it a little bit higher. In this case, the harmony is mostly in thirds. We're going to play the open E string, then we're going to play frets 8 and 12 before returning back to the open E string. From here, we're going to play frets 8 and 10, and just like we let fret 7 hang out in the first guitar part, we're going to let fret 10 hang out for the same duration. And then you're going to want to hit that 10th fret again on the of 2. So you're going to want to repeat that 2 more times, and then we'll encounter something similar to the first guitar part. So to wrap the harmony up, you're going to start the same way. Open E string, fret 8, fret 12, open E string. Then frets 8 and 10 of the high E string. We're not going to let that 10th fret hang out anymore, and again, this is going to look familiar. You're going to want to bar the 10th fret by using the pad of the middle finger for that high E string, and then you're going to want to roll up to the 10th fret of the B string right above it, and then finish off with fret 12. So here's what guitar 2 sounds like from the beginning. You can start slowly with this if you have to. It's okay if you're not quite up to speed in the beginning. It'll come to you over time. Just stick in, stay consistent, and I know you can pull it off. We've covered both lead guitar parts in this riff by discussing the rhythm, the tabs, and the notes used to bring this song to life. Plus, I showed you my simple setup I used in case you want to replicate these tones for yourself. And to take all of your tones to the next level, don't forget to download my free Elite Tones cheat sheet if you have not done so already. It'll show you how to dial in record-worthy amp sounds, plus it'll help you make those virtual amp sims sound like authentic physical amplifiers. Just click the link in the description or go to ZachSharGuitar.com and download this awesome free resource. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Zach with Zach Shar Guitar, and I will see you in the next one.